set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
That is right. We are ready.
I love that intro.
Thank you very much. We like it too. That's been so much fun. So we are controlling the audio. We are controlling the video. For the next hour, we've got Comic Talk. Welcome to 3 Men in the Basement, everybody. I'm your host, Everett Otto, coming to you live and direct. We have a very special guest tonight, Danielle from Nerdy Girl Comics, but I will give my compadres time to give a shout out. So always helping me out running the show over this way is the cranky Canadian himself. Roger, say what's up.
What is going on, everybody? Still on my birthday bash hangover. Once again, thanks to everybody who hung out Monday night and spent an hour or two roasting the shit out of me. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then below him in the cave, as usual, we have Mr. Dave in the cave producing the show. Dave, say what's up to everybody.
What is up, party people? It's good to be back. Seems like I missed a lot of fun, but we'll have some fun on a random Wednesday night. Let's do it.
Yeah, I love it, love it. And without further ado, our extra special guest, she's got 10,000 followers on Instagram. She's got grails to believe, video games like you wouldn't believe, and eBay store, comics galore, all the big cons. We have Danielle from Nerdy Girl Comics. Thank you so much for joining us here in the grotto tonight. It is our pleasure to have you here.
I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
No, it's our pleasure.
That is a great intro.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But it's all true though. 10,000 followers on Instagram. My God, when I hit 1,000, I thought it was a big deal, and then when I looked at yours, I was like, "Oh my God, you have 10,000 followers."
I have 11 now.
You do? Okay, my God. So I apologize, right? So look, it's gone up that much and that quickly. 11,000 followers. Social media is definitely like it is hard work, right, Danielle?
To do this. It's hard to grow a following for sure. Right. It's a lot harder than people think it is.
It absolutely is. And that reposting and the tagging and this, that, it is hard, but my God, I think to have 11,000 is just unbelievable. So kudos to you for being able to do that. So
sure.
We wanted you to come on tonight, one, because I got into Instagram about 4 or 5 years ago. And I started watching your videos, and I actually made a couple purchases from you. I bought some stuff from you, and it was really cool.
I thought I knew your name.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I bought a book from you. It was like it was a Fantastic Four 51. It was a 5.5, but when I knew you were like official, like when I knew you were an OG in this, and when you gave me a great price, first of all, and you're like, "Yep," and it's white pages, right? And you told me that. So a 5.5 white pages knows, and I was like, "This girl is official. She knows what she's talking about." So I still have that book in my collection too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we just want to talk about you and comic books and video games, and we'll get into video games later, but I just want to say this. You were way ahead of the curve in the video games, and that's what I'm going to say right now. But I want to talk about you and collecting and your collection. And I like your post that you said that if you see it, I own it. Is that what you said on your Instagram?
Yeah,
right?
If I post it, I own it.
Right.
I get a lot of flack sometimes that stuff isn't mine.
Yeah, right. No, I believe it. I believe it. And why do you think that is? Do you think it's just because people can't believe that, I hate to say this, but a female could have a comic collection like this?
Yeah, I think it's a few things. I think one, I'm a female. I think that if I were a male posting all the same content,
right, I
wouldn't be questioned at all for any of my posts.
Yes, right.
And I think also maybe my age.
Okay, I got you.
I'm in my 30s.
Yeah,
I know that I've amassed some really great items.
Yep.
But I'll also say we started with nothing and built all of this literally from the ground up.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it. And I think that's kind of what we did too. Like Roger and I, we started 3 Men in the Basement with like a selfie stick in the basement with duct tape, going live on Instagram.
That's awesome.
Instagram live with an iPhone selfie stick and duct tape and a bar stool.
Yes, in a bar stool.
Oh God,
and our kids were the camera people.
Yeah, and it was just unbelievable. So guys, just so we know how the show is going to go tonight, we are going to talk a little bit to Danielle about her comic book collections and stuff that she likes to collect and sell and trends. We're definitely going to bring up.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, how about we give a shout out to the chat, Ev?
Man,
let's
I'm
do
sorry.
that.
I got ahead of ourselves here.
I got a little excited about the show.
Yeah.
Tonight. You're on Wednesday night. You're not used to it.
I'm not. I'm really
All right,
not.
so let me start. We'll start from the top. Something Wong is here. Keep your hairs to yourself, brother. Sith Lorley, Deep Dive Comics, Kevin Kowalski. Let me see. Wesley Campbell, what's going on, bro? From the north. Deep Dive Comics. We have Monster Warrior, BX Boxer 1231. What's up, bro? We have. Let me see. New names. These guys were tailgating. David Cave's in here. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, it's me.
Yeah. Larry's lawyer. No talking about your mom tonight, brother. Okay?
Yeah,
it's
really.
a family show tonight, all right? Paul PC 1974, The B-Man. We have Six Face Comics, Sith Lorley. What's going on, brother? Let me see. Joey's does comics. Joey going hard. Love that kid. If he doesn't get ruined by Pressable Deffects, we'll be lucky.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Chinmo in the house. Sean Miller, what's up, brother? A lot of these names are in there roasting the hell out of me on Monday. Roger Treatment in the basement. Tapia's Family Unlimited Comics. The Comic Forge. Rich M. Emerald Knight. What's up, Chris? Did I say something wrong? I never get tired of saying that. Universe X. I think that's everybody. If I missed you, All Strands Comics Collection. Another one. Glenn 2K12. Rudy Tatagui or Rude Dog. I probably butchered his name. Tim Tebow's in there. Lords of the Long Box. All right, I think that's everybody. Starscream 69. If I miss you, keep typing stuff. We'll get you in there. If you have a question for Danielle, make sure you type it in there, and we'll try to get it.
Guys.
Yeah, we got a question already, Dave. Do you see that?
Someone.
Yeah, let's see. William Medina. I got it right
there
here.
we go.
So, Nerdy Girl, when's your next auction? Let's talk about that.
So I've never done an Instagram auction before.
Okay.
I have auctions running on eBay, usually every week.
Yep.
I have a link in my Instagram bio that will take you directly to my eBay store.
Yep.
Actually, the description of this video is a link to your eBay store and your Instagram page. So if you look in the information, guys, on this video, her links are both in there.
Thank you. And then I'm thinking about trying for the first time. I have a bunch of slabs coming in that are newer and thinking of doing like a pop-up sale with them and maybe merging into an auction. I don't know. I've been watching some people to see how they do it.
Yep.
Very different format for me.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And so people can find you in the description on eBay. You've got stuff up there that you're selling. Lots of cool stuff. You got video games up there too, Danielle?
Some, yeah. I'm adding more.
Gotcha. Okay. We're going to get to the video games too, but I just want to talk about collecting history. How long have you been at this grind? Like years? I mean, when did you start? Just give us an idea.
I've been in it for like 15 years.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Yep.
I did my first San Diego Comic-Con when I was pregnant.
Really?
My daughter. Yeah.
Okay. My God.
And we didn't set up that year. We just went and walked around, and then the following year we set up.
Okay.
And I was there. I think I missed only 1 year before this year.
Gotcha.
So I was there for like 13 or 14 of the last 15 years.
Right. And so that's amazing. And that's kind of my lead in. So you're on the East Coast, right?
Yep.
Florida area, right? Is that right?
I'm in Florida now. I'm from near Rochester. I'm from Rochester, New York.
Oh, you're from upstate New York. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, all right. Northern girl. There you go. I love it.
Yep.
She's got that East Coast DNA.
That's
that
right.
Northeast DNA.
That's right.
Like it.
Love it. Love it. I'm sure you don't miss snow or anything like that.
Nope.
So, no, not at all. So tell us a little bit about what it's like, because, in our group of people, we are pretty much, collectors, and we love going to the big cons. And we do have friends that set up at, the East Coast cons and Terrific Con and cons that we enjoy up here at East Coast. But how do you travel with slabs like that are worth thousands of dollars? You literally just put them in your backpack and day bags and bring them on a plane and hope for the best?
So I do New York Comic-Con too, and New York was easier because we could drive.
Gotcha. Okay.
Going out to San Diego though, so a short box will fit under the seat in front
Look
of
at
you
that.
on a plane.
Yeah. Okay.
And I can't tell you how many battles I've gotten into with the gate people telling me you need to check it under the plane. And I'm like, there's no way I'm checking it. First of all, you're risking it getting damaged.
Yeah, right.
Second of all, there's a lot of money in one of these boxes.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not leaving my sight. I'm like, if it doesn't fit under the seat, it'll fit in the overhead compartment.
Correct.
Too.
Gotcha.
So we would bring 2 boxes on the plane, a backpack full of books, and then the rest would get shipped to the hotel. And I'm very much a creature of comfort.
Yep.
So I find a hotel, I like it, I'm comfortable, I meet the desk staff, I know that it's a safe place, and I stay there every year.
Yep. I love that. That's really important because, you know, from my point of view, typically up here in the East Coast, you know, Terrific Con is a con that we go to, and that's drivable for me. That's 40 minutes.
That's in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, that's in Connecticut. And so we do that. But when I went to Baltimore last year for the first time, I had my backpack, and I flew. And when I was leaving Baltimore, I was going through customs, and I was going through the TSA line at the airport. And she opens up my backpack, and I've got like raw books and some slabs. And the TSA agent is like thumbing the book.
Them out.
Yes, like thumbing my raw books. I'm like, you're creasing these books. My God, what are you doing? Please stop.
I'm like, you need to be careful. You can look through my bag, but you need to be careful.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I absolutely believe that.
You break it, you buy it.
Yes, my goodness. So, you know, I pulled up some pictures from your Instagram page with some books that were just absolute fire. Like, so when you're traveling, let's see, like these books right here.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah. Do you still have these books, or have these books been sold?
Yep. I actually just sold the Hulk one.
Did you really? Can we ask how much that went for?
About 48.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. All right. So now that we're like schoolboys and we're ogling over it, you know, did you buy that from another big dealer, or did you, you know, like, was that, you know,
I've had that one for a little while. I don't remember where I picked that one up.
Okay.
Probably privately.
Privately. Okay. And then, so a lot of the books in your collection, we're going to get to the Golden Age stuff, because I know you love your Golden Age books.
I do.
Which is really good. And I love the way you talked about it today.
Claims.
Joey wants that, right?
Yeah.
Somebody wants that one.
He's 16 years old. You have to work a little while for that one, boss.
He's the future of the hobby.
Yeah, that's right. That's why we love him.
I love that kid.
Yeah. So a book like that, do you get that from another private collector, or like, I know you kind of said it already. I lost my train of thought because I was just thinking about.
No, it's okay. So I buy from all over, right? I buy at auction houses. I miss conventions so much because I get to buy a lot of conventions. As much as I sell, I get to buy. Okay. And I only set up at like 3 shows a year now, but I'll go to like 3 or 4 more shows just so I can go buy.
Interesting.
And so not having shows has really kind of made it hard for me to replenish my inventory.
Yep.
Like, I think this might be the weakest inventory in terms of comics that I've ever had. Part of that is because I've spread it out also into games, of course.
Yes, right.
But I'll buy at auction houses. I'll do trades with people sometimes. Like, I'm all for trading some Golden Age books sometimes for Silver Age keys, just because they sell easier. Yeah. And they sell faster.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. So of all the so San Diego, New York, Chicago, is that one of the cons that you go to?
I go to Chicago, but I don't set up at Chicago.
You know, okay, understandable. And how about Seattle?
I've never been to Seattle. Okay. I've never done Seattle. I've never done Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are on my list because I know I've heard from so many people what a great show Baltimore is.
Yeah, Baltimore. So I don't really do the big shows like New York. I can take or leave it. Dave does New York quite often. Yeah. And I just don't have that, you know, and just too many people all over the place.
New York is aggressive.
Yeah.
you get to Sunday afternoon and it's
just my God, I'm done by Sunday. Don't look at me.
You need
don't
to take Monday off.
Yeah.
Bring me coffee.
Yeah, right. No, I believe it. And I can see like my buddies that go to New York, what they're like. Like Thursday, they're jazzed up, they're pumped up, they're all
ready,
caffeinated, they're ready to go. They go in there, and then by the end, they're just like dog meat.
Schlepping, right? Schlepping through the show.
Yeah. All right. So in a year of no cons, which we are all very, very upset about, people have had to create their own hustle and do things more like whether it's selling on eBay or selling on this. Do you think that the pandemic that has happened, I have my own opinion. I think people are buying like crazy now.
I think it's great for the hobby.
You do? Okay. All right. Talk about that a little bit.
So I think that when people are looking to spend their money on something, we're not going out to eat as much. We're not going on vacations. People aren't going to shows. They're hungry for books.
Yep.
And around this time, it kind of starts to slow down some because you come into end of year taxes and Christmas is coming and it's a cycle. But I have had one of my best years and I'm super thankful for Instagram because without Instagram, like I would have sold on eBay, but I wouldn't have made some of the connections I've made. I wouldn't have done some of the deals I've done. I can't even tell you how thankful I am.
Yeah, no,
that I'm in a position where I can work from home and my business is still thriving through a pandemic.
Right. Absolutely. Nice. And what we have talked about is, we have done a few live YouTube auctions, and those have been pretty successful. But what I can see is, and at least this is just what I think in my crazy twisted mind is, as a collector, as somebody who collects and saves for cons, and maybe Dave and Roger can allude to this, and people in the live chat can say this. You have your money in your stock drawer. You have your money put away. That's the con money, right? Yep. You're not going to pay your American Express bill with that unless it's necessary. Unless your kids are starving or your family needs it. That money is your money. You saved this and you want to spend it, and now that you don't have it, you have this outlet. So I definitely agree with you as far as seeing this, and I've heard this from people in the baseball card industry.
Oh my gosh, baseball cards are on another level right now. Pokemon cards.
Yes, Pokemon. My God.
Holy hell.
Yes.
Right. It doesn't even make sense to me because there's so many of them.
Yeah. Right. And I agree with you on that. So, and that is something that we've talked about as far as people auctioning and just moving on. So it's great that people are able to still buy, sell, and trade. And especially on Instagram, I put up something a few weeks ago, like looking for this book, and I got a response from 4 people, and it was, I was almost easy to name my price, and people were willing to just give me a great price, and it was way better than eBay. The eBay fees right now and the taxes are just unbelievable.
Well, right, Rod? Out of control, man. I'm so sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of finding a good deal on eBay, and then it's 20% more by the time you're done after you pay for it. It just happened to me today. It's irritating. I think that's why so many people have jumped on auctions. Like I have grown my collection more in the last year than I did the previous 3 based on going on YouTube auctions and people selling on Instagram because they don't have the shows. And I don't, if I save up this much money, half of it is for the hotel and stuff at Terrificon.
Of course, right.
Now I'm not paying for the hotel. So.
Right. Yeah, right. And I think that's common. I think that's a common theme, right? We're not having to pay airfare. We're not having to pay hotels. You don't have to pay for all the meals out.
Of course.
I know for me to walk into the San Diego show between all my costs, I'm over 10 grand just to walk.
Really? So you got right. So you've got to profit 10 grand before you're like, all right, I'm
like, okay, right.
Yeah,
and New York and San Diego are 2 of my greatest shows historically every year.
Yep.
But it's so much easier to just post something on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. And you can see it from there. And that's, I like that idea. That's important. And I think that's something that we have seen throughout this entire year and through other collectors. So, right now, what are you get like? Do people DM you and say, "Hey, do you have this book?" Or what book? Like, are there 2 or 3 books that people are just asking for you like crazy? Like, off the top,
people are looking for giant size X-Men 1s right now.
Really? Okay. Yep.
That book is like number 1 on people's radars. I sold out of my Hulk 181s. I went like 4 months and I couldn't sell a single Hulk 181, and then in like a 2-week span, literally, I sold all 4 copies I had.
Did you really?
Oh so crazy. God. And then, of course, in perfect timing, it started popping.
Yes,
right after.
Right, and I believe that, and I think people follow trends, and I think if once you sell one, it gets in people's heads, and they're like, okay, I need to get that. I need to get that. I need to get that. What, Danielle? I'm a Hulk 181 fan. That's the biggest book I have in my collection. What was the highest grade you had in that book?
A 9.4.
You had a 9.4. Okay. And you just sold that how long
I
ago?
actually traded it. I actually traded that one for Wolverine claws.
Oh, yes. I want to talk about that. Yes. I want to talk about that. I wish I had the picture. I tried to find that. Dave, can you find that on Instagram?
Yeah, let me go look. Yeah,
I'll let you look for that. All right. So a 9.4 Hulk 181. It was unbelievable. Yep. And you traded that. And then what was the grade below it, just so we could get a price? Like
a 9.0.
Okay, 9.0. Gotcha. All right.
And I think I got like almost 6,000 for that copy.
Wow. Okay. I believe it. I believe it.
And then the next one was an 8.0. I don't remember what I got for that one.
Okay. Probably 4. Does that sound about right? If I'm guessing.
Ish, probably.
4-ish. Yeah, on the higher
end.
And
then I had a 7.0.
Okay. Love it.
And I got 27 or 2,800 for that copy.
Now, when you say that you sold out of your giant size X-Men's 1, do people?
No, I sold out of Hulk 181.
Oh, your Hulk 181s. Okay, so when people are asking you for the giant size X-Men 1, and
I only have one.
Yeah, okay. Do they then ask you for X-Men 94? Is that like a follow-up?
I have not had a lot of X-Men 94 requests.
Really? Okay.
And I feel like they kind of go in cycles.
Yep.
And I think Giant Size X-Men 1 is the better book. Maybe I'll get flack for that. That might be like a 180, 181 debate. But I think
no. Giant Size X-Men #1 is the first appearance. I mean, we're not gonna that's it.
It's a better cover. It's a better cover.
It's a better cover. They're all on a cover. They're point blank there. Yeah. It's a square bound book. It's a great cover. It's a great book. Roger and I have been talking, and we've been watching this on Lords of the Long Box, as far as how much ASM 300 has skyrocketed.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. A 9.8 sold for like $5,000. And
I have some of those coming in.
Oh, you do? Good to know. All right, there we go. We love it. For sale. There we go. All right. So if you're looking for that, are they 9.8s coming in? Do you have, or
I think I have 1 or 2 9.8s.
Okay, awesome. So if we're looking for some 181s,
you know what? I don't understand this newsstand premium.
Yes.
All of a sudden.
Okay. Yeah. That is like, that's to me, that's, you've got your off-white pages, your white pages people, and now you've got your newsstand stuff. And I kind of get the newsstand stuff, but to me, it doesn't matter, because I was buying stuff off newsstands, and I understand that, on a newsstand, it's hard to find, it's hard to get it in higher grades because people have thumbed through it and all that stuff. Right. I get it, but not something that, I'm going after. So you posted this picture, and I couldn't believe this, and I'm so enamored by it, and maybe you could talk about it. So you had a Hulk 181 9.4, and you traded it for these.
Yeah, there's one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So there's the 9.4 that you had.
Yeah.
And that
was a beautiful 9.4 too.
That is. Look at the red on that too. That is just absolutely popping.
That was a beautiful copy.
And the spine looks great. So talk to me about these claws right here.
So they're from the X-Men 2 movie.
They are. Okay.
Yep. I traded them with someone who knows Jimmy Claus.
Yep.
And he got them directly from him.
Yep.
And I was going to bid on the ones in the Comic Connect auctioned, and I ended up not bidding. And so I just worked a trade with him instead. I shipped him the book. He shipped me the claws.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get them framed. I'm going to find I feel like Hulk 181 should be in the frame, but I think Wolverine 1 from the limited series.
Yeah.
It's such a better cover to frame those with, aesthetically.
Yeah. No, that's
so eventually they'll get framed and hung up.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely fantastic. When I saw that, I was like, where did she get these? Like, this is a great story. Kudos
I love
to you. Yeah, that is awesome. So you've done that. You've got those books. People are asking you for books. They're skyrocketing. Now, Golden Age books, you have lots of. And you just brought up a point about a Batman #1 that was on Heritage Auctions, right?
Detective 27, you mean?
Yeah, the Tech 27. Yes. Yeah. Did that finally sell? Is that
nope?
Closed?
It goes off tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's already at 1.2 million going into tomorrow.
1.2 million. And what was the grade?
That book I think it's going to go for 1.5 to 1.8 personally. Okay. Yeah, right. I mean, it's one of the nicest known copies. There are not many nicer than it. Yeah. It's the nicest copy to come to market in I don't even know how long. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. And it's that book. I would, like for me as, a collector, I would love to know who had that book, where they stashed it, like
I know.
who put it in a box and said, I'm going to save this because it's
right.
book is going to be forever, and and it's going to fetch that kind of money. So talk about an investment, right? My God.
Well, look, they've historically gone up and up and up and up.
Yes, right. And for me being a Silver Age collector, I have watched in the past 5 or 6 years, I have watched an ASM1 low grade book, like a 2.5 to 3.0, go from 2,000 to 6,000. And yearly it's going up $1,000 at a pull, and you're just like, oh my God, I just can't believe it. So I want to talk a little bit about. Go ahead, Dave. Did you want to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say it's like we always talk about. When that first appearance usually gets so far out of reach. What's that next step? They're going to go after that second appearance, and it just so happens that the second appearance of Spider-Man is ASM1. So you get that kind of that double bubble. So.
Right. It trickles down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I love when you post is your Golden Age books, because I don't really know too much about it, but you posted this picture today and I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. This book was from 1938, you guys, right? So 1938 at a 1.5, but look at the colors on it and look at the Superman. I mean, this is Americana at its best, Danielle, right? And
for sure. It's a second cover.
It's the second cover of Superman. My God, and listen, somebody wanted to give it to me. I'm not going to say no,
It's history.
Yeah.
So almost 2 years ago, I picked up a big original in our collection. We went out to Rhode Island and it had a full action run from 1 to 400 in it, all raw.
Yeah.
And so to hold like an action one and just like smell the pages and to look through all those books, like Golden Age books are something so special that I think a lot of people don't appreciate unless you take the time to go back and really look through those covers.
Yeah. And I definitely, when you were talking today, and I'm going to let Roger segue into this. So when you were talking about your video today about, the Americana and the artwork and what it took, I'm a little bit older than a lot of people here. But my father was born in the 30s, and just to think the stuff that he had and, the Superman books that he had, it's just, he would talk about the books and then he would throw them away because they were just kiddie books. They were 10
Well,
cents,
it was nothing then, right? And back in the 40s, so many books got burned in paper drives.
Yes.
During the war.
In the war. And when,
so crazy.
You hear the stories of, I had that, my mother threw it out, or you lost it in a
But thank God that happened, right? Because if all of those books got saved, it wouldn't be so special.
Right. Good point.
That's true.
Point. I like that. So, Raj, you had some questions about today, right? You wanted to bring up some talking points.
Yeah. So first of all, I got a kick out of when you talked about. You asked if you ever smelled the Golden Age book. Were like, there's a funny thing going on. Someone from the YouTube community had made a comment that smelling Silver Age books makes them itchy. So it just was funny how you were like, it's an amazing smell, the way it makes you feel. I've never smelled a Golden Age book, so I have to live vicariously through you.
So the paper is different.
Yes.
And depending on how it's stored, where it comes from, like a book from Washington isn't going to smell the same as a book from New York because the climates are different. The paper broke down differently. A paper is stored in a cedar chest. Versus just sitting in a plastic bin. They all tell different stories.
Right.
And until you go through and you smell different books from different collections, you don't appreciate it. And I know it's weird, but it's true.
No, but that makes sense though. And I appreciate you saying that because this is part of See, I have something that I say every book has a story. Every story is a book. You know what I mean? And where do these books come from? You can tell books, for me at least, when I go and find Silver Age books that I get from collectors or when I get from stores, you can tell when the mice have got to the edges and they've nibbled away at the edges because they're all rounded. So where were those usually?
Silverfish will do that also.
What will do that?
Silverfish.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, and that those were either stuffed in an attic or they were there, and depending on the climate, whether it's a 4-season house in an attic or a basement or in a garage,
and it affects page quality also.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I think that your point about back then, the Golden Age and Silver Age, for the most part, the stories weren't very good. You know, I always go back to, I mean, I never had Silver Age books when I was a kid to read, so I read the facsimiles of like first appearance of the Justice League. What a terrible story that is. It really is bad.
Everyone knows me. We're not going to get on this subject because you're segueing into like.
It's like it is really bad because like, do you think Justice League? Who's the first three people you think of? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Of course.
Batman and Superman weren't even in the story of the first Justice League. They were too busy fighting off other people. Yeah. They weren't even in
the their own titles to worry about.
Yeah, like it was just so really what those books are, the iconic covers, the creations, what they created. You know, Superman was created, Spider-Man was created, Batman was created. Yeah, it was the beginning of all these stories that we grew up loving as kids. So you had a while back made a video saying, what story should I read? And I thought that was great. I'm like, why not ask the community, right? Because that's what I would do. Hey, I'm looking for a new story to read. What should I read? And you didn't expect the backlash that you got.
I didn't think, first of all, like, I feel like you don't have to read a comic book to be a collector. And I said this earlier on my video I did. Especially in today's age, like we're very much a slab society in comics because they sell for so much money now. We're not talking about spending $100 on a book. We're talking about spending thousands.
And people want to know what they're getting. So
right,
slab,
you want that guarantee that you know you're getting what you pay for. You're buying a 5.0 unrestored book. You don't want it to come in and be trimmed or color touched, or maybe they don't know how to detect that kind of restoration. And they have a cover with tear seals and color touch, and they don't know that until they send it in to be graded. And now you need to hope 2 months, 3 months later that you can go back to the person you bought it from and that they'll be honorable and say, you know what, I'm really sorry, instead of, well, sorry, not sorry, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
So it takes away that, like, that uncertainty.
For sure. And we are definitely a channel and a group that say, you know, damn you, I'm going to collect what I like. Yep. Right. Don't tell me that I can't.
It was a fun thing, right? Like, I know that I have this like thing of like, I've never read a comic book. I just haven't. I didn't grow up reading comic books. I didn't come into this as a collector. I came in and my boyfriend was doing it. He was a collector, but I wasn't. I was like, you sell comic books? And I'm like, these comic books sell for how much? Okay, I'll learn. But over the last 15 years, like, I've become a collector. I have my own comic books. I have comic book knowledge. I can sit and I can have a conversation, and I don't need to read a comic book to know the storylines. I'm in the community. I'm in the hobby. Don't ask me about a book that came out last week. I can't tell you anything about that other than if you're spending hundreds of dollars on a book that got released last week, you're 5 shades of crazy.
Yeah, right.
And you shouldn't, and you know what? You shouldn't have to explain yourself, because that's the greatest thing about collecting. It's about having fun. You're supposed to have fun with it. And if you're having fun and you're collecting what you like, who the hell cares? I mean, Everett made a video a while back going on, you know, some books and stuff, and somebody attacked him in the chat or in the comments after, saying that he should be ashamed of himself for pressing a book, because pressing should be considered restoration. Because it's not.
I feel like we're going back like 10 years on the keyboards when the nod was a thing.
It was very strange. And then I did a video where I had some books coming from CGC. And it was just, you know, the big joke. I was very disappointed in the grades I got from CGC. Yeah. They did not do me any favors. And someone in the chat says, you ought to just shut up and be happy that you have these great books. I bet you didn't even read any of them. And, you know, all I could say to him is, listen, you know what? I submitted 16. I maybe read 4. I bought the other ones to sell so I can pay for the hobby. Let the hobby pay for itself, as Everett coined a long time ago.
It's a cycle.
If I can make an investment and flip a book to a book that I don't care about to buy a book that I do care about, then who's better off?
All
you or me? You can go ahead and be happy with the 8.5. I'd rather have the 9.2 so I can buy the book that I want. Yeah. So you know, we all get it. What, you know, and I know you were getting it over because I was looking back at some of the comments, and I'm like, you know what? We get it. You got it. It's people just don't understand. It's not your right to tell us how to collect.
Yeah. Right. Yep. You pay for my books.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And Danielle, I don't, if you see this, but like lately I have been buying coverless comics.
Yeah.
And people have like been making fun. Like they're like, why? Like, what is this rabbit hole about? And I say to them, listen, I usually my graded books, if my X-Men books, my Spider-Man books, like I read these books as a kid hundreds of times. I read them in trade paperbacks. I ogle over it. As a kid, I couldn't read, so I started reading from comic books. So a lot of and it helped me understand how to read better. But the cover, the splash page, the first page of a comic is as important, or if not more important, than the comic, right?
Sure.
And I don't mind sending it into CGC. People are like, well, why are you spending that $40 or $50 to put it in a CGC case? Well, you know what? Because one, it's a nice looking display, first of all. Two, I like to display my books. I ogle over them. It's something that I enjoy. And three, it's my own money. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
when you want to pay for it, you can tell me.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is Otto talking about coverless comics again? Hold on.
Yes, that I went down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
See you later.
I went down the rabbit hole on that. And I actually have like 2 or 3 of them at CGC right now because
I was selling a bunch a couple weeks ago.
No, I missed that. Were you really?
Yeah, Golden Age and Silver Age.
Oh, I gotta go. All right. So next time you get some,
I think you may still have
I'll
one
look
on
through
there.
my pile and see what I have left.
Yeah, see what you have left, right? Because I love it because I have an FF, my FF 48 is a great cover, but it's not one of the best. But the inside cover is unbelievable because it's just Jack Kirby goodness. And if I want to display my books, I've got the book, the front page. I read it soup to nuts, so I know it's there. So I absolutely love it. So I definitely applaud you for collecting the way you do and having your own collection and having that and standing up for yourself and being like, listen, people's collections are what they collect. When I was a kid in the 80s, I was buying everything because I thought that's what you had to do. And now when I got into Instagram, I saw people buying statues. I saw people buying this. And now you've got your pops and your stands. And
so different.
It's so different now. And you know what? You make it what you want because it is yours, right? Like that's what we have to talk about, So
you talked about some original art. Do you have some original art from? I don't know, because you had talked about that you had some, but you didn't really share what kind of stuff.
I do have original art. I have some on my wall there. I just posted that picture today.
Yes, you did. That was a great picture.
That's awesome.
The bottom one that looks like that's actually a Romita Senior Spider-Man daily strip.
Is it really?
That's awesome.
Wow.
There's an Avengers cover, and above the Romita daily is a Larson cover.
Wow.
And his stuff is really, really hard to find because there was a huge warehouse fire and a lot of his artwork was destroyed in the fire. So finding Larson art is really, really tough to find.
Really?
That's
Oh, that's wild. That's wild. Roger, we got a super chat?
All right. Uncle Frank has given us a super chat. 3 MIB preaching the truth tonight. Thank you so much, Uncle Frank. Dave, you want to give him a little super chat video to go with that?
Yeah, it's a little dark. Got it, Miss Heath.
Thank you very much, Uncle Frank.
Yeah. So I did want to segue into something which I've been dying to talk to you about. And as I follow you on Instagram, there's one thing, I'm not good at many things, but I'm good at following trends and seeing what people who are like posting things. And this video game explosion has just gone nuts to where it's oh my God. So you were definitely ahead of the game on this. And Dave has got tons of questions for you to answer. So, Dave, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay.
Dave,
no, I mean,
because what's funny is I'm just excited about video games. Is probably you are.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean, Otto teed me up right there. I mean, I guess what gave you the vision or the foresight to be able to jump into it as early as you did?
So I had a couple of friends that were really pushing me right before Wutta. Like I was talking to Wutta before they came out publicly. I went and saw the owner's basement. He has a really crazy setup in his basement. It's like walking into a retro Blockbuster.
Really?
With every single game for some of these systems. Like it's insanity.
Yeah.
And probably a few months after that, I had a couple of friends that were really pushing me and saying, like, you really need to dive into games. stop sitting on the sidelines and just do it. Like, why are you waiting?
Yep.
And I remember the first 3 games I bought, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I maybe spent like $1,500 or $2,000. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I making a mistake? What am I doing now? This is funny coming from me, right? Because in comic books, I think nothing of handing over tens of thousands of dollars. Book. Here you go. Here's the check. Go cash it.
Yep.
With video games, it was still so new, and they weren't selling for thousands of dollars. It was very much like, okay, I'm going to take a chance.
Yep.
I'm going to do this. And so I would start out and I would just buy like a few hundred or like 1,000. And like I had a max price that I'd want to pay. And then eventually I got more comfortable. They started selling in Heritage. The market started coming. And it was like, okay, we're going to do this. So started looking for big games.
Yep.
Really started making some big moves. I did a lot of trades with someone where he traded video games to me for comic books.
Okay.
So for me, it was like, all right, this is cool. I traded away a Batman 1. I traded Amazing Fantasy 15 and X-Men 1.
Yeah.
I think a Fantastic Four #1. Like I got rid of some big books.
Yep.
But
to get the basis of your to get the basis of your video games.
So I got a full Mega Man Nintendo run.
Okay.
Was one of the things I got. And Super Nintendo. The only one it didn't have was the Mega Man Soccer, but I ended up picking up one of those also.
Okay.
I got a Mario hang tab.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You had that listed on eBay. I saw that. I was like, oh.
Well, I don't have my hang tab on eBay though.
Oh, I saw it somewhere. I forget where I saw it. Maybe
I threw one up at one point. I did. I sold one of, so I had 3 Mario hang tabs.
That's wild.
And I sold one of them recently. That was a really hard thing to do. And it was really hard too, learning, because in video games, there are different versions and releases.
Yeah.
And you can, there's like, there's a really good article on the Weta website that takes you through like the black box history. And that kind of gives you some of foundation, but learning all the different releases was a huge learning curve. Learning like how games were going to cross over. Like there was so much. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
It's, I tend to relate the video game is very similar to the variant comic game, because there's second printings, there's a 5 screw, there's 3 screw, there's so much, and in a lot of
circle, there's hang tab, there's non-hang tab, there's oval.
It's wild, and it's still very much the wild west, and you know, I think the market certainly needs to figure itself out a little bit still, but you know, it'll be interesting to watch. I guess for you, I mean, do you prefer a video game grading company? Because I know there's WATA. I think you use PSA too.
VGA.
VGA, that's it.
PSA doesn't have a video game side. There's VGA and there's WATA. I prefer WATA partly because it's the auction house standard.
Yep.
Interesting.
I know the people personally, so I know that I have like a relationship with them. And they sell for more. Reality is they sell for more.
Right. That
was going to be my next question, as far as because you have the whole CGC, CBS, PGX, you know, kind of situation that's
PGX
happening.
Doesn't really count. Let's be honest.
I threw them in there just because.
That's like saying I.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Roger, I think you threw up a question. What was it, Joey? What is
Joey
your what's your favorite video game and comic in your PC?
Favorite video game: Super Mario Brothers 3. Left bros. So in Super Mario 3, there's 2. There's a left bro where the bros is under his left hand.
Yep.
And then there's right bro where it's on the opposite side of the box.
Oh my God.
And there's maybe 8 or 9 known left bros out there.
Yep. Mine's a right bro.
Field. And then favorite comic book in my collection, Captain America 1.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
He's such history.
Yep.
And there's just so much behind that book. I talked about it earlier, I think, in my live stream, where Captain America 1 for me is so special because I also love history. And he's punching Hitler in the face before we went to war.
Right.
So it was a premonition of tell people, like, this is what's coming. We're going to war.
Wow. That's
We're going to go beat the Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking shit a little bit.
Yeah. So Wesley Kim, so Wada is the video game CGC, right? I mean, is that safe to say at this point?
I would say yes.
Yeah. All right.
And Wada also took on the same grading scale that comic books and baseball cards.
Yeah. So 10 is the highest, Danielle. 10
10 is the highest. Yep. So it's easier to correlate, right? Like, okay, I know that a 9.0 is a VFNM.
Yep.
So they took that same grading scale.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. And so if I have a video game and it's not in its plastic wrap, it doesn't have the original factory seal.
But the complete in box.
But it's complete in box. Does that affect it? Does that have anything to do with it?
There's a huge price difference between a sealed game and a complete in box. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's even bigger than like a restored versus unrestored. Do you collect vintage?
Yeah.
He's messing with me with this Atari question because he knows I don't do Atari.
Okay. And why not? Why not? Because there's too many of them? Or
there's so much of it. Like I tell people all the time, there are a couple of exceptions to every rule where there's like a handful of Atari games that are legitimately rare,
like ET,
and hard to find.
Okay.
However, there are cases upon cases upon cases of Atari games that no one wanted to play because they sucked. And there's warehouses full of these games. When you see like someone, and I know who bought it, and he knows that he paid really high, but someone paid like $9,000 for a 9.8 Spider-Man Atari game.
Yeah.
And it was the first one that sold. And now they sell for like $2,500.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time, do not spend crazy buku bucks on an Atari game. Buy a Nintendo, buy a Super Nintendo game. The populations are so much lower. Look, I've been in this for 2 years and there have been like 3 or 4 giant Atari finds. You know how many giant Nintendo finds there have been?
Yeah.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Not many Nintendo finds.
Yeah.
Like big giant collections.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Was the highest and most wanted vintage video game? That's a good question.
What was the question? What is the highest, most? So I would definitely say Super Mario Hang Tab is up there. I mean, Super Mario Brothers really paved and led the way for so much. And then I would say Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah, because like think about it, right? Like the top games that everyone remembers playing are Super Mario Brothers, Zelda, Metroid,
NHL 94.
Punch Out.
Yeah, Punch Out.
Not everyone played NHL.
Yeah.
They should have the greatest video game, the greatest video game ever, NHL 94. Are you kidding me? There's blood on the ice and people were fighting. I mean,
the worst. RBI baseball.
Castlevania.
Yeah. I used to play that on my Apple computer. That's
staples,
how old I am.
The staples.
Yeah. Can I? What about Mike? So I don't own any.
Punch Out.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Like if I were to buy a game,
and I think, listen, who let his? Are you allowed to say swear words on this channel?
Yeah, why not?
Who let his old ass back in the ring?
Yeah, that's right. Like, I know he's going to be in a fight next week
because he's fighting another old ass.
Rod, we got a little super chat.
Real quick, we got Zorus Tiger. You're in here, brother. Shout out my guy streaming in the basement for bringing on my girl, Nerdy Girl. Dave, let's play that. Let's play that super chat.
Yeah, give him some spice.
There's another great one that everyone remembers. Like there are like your core titles of games.
Yeah, Contra. Then the Contra Code. Everybody remembers the Contra Code. There you go.
Contra Code, right? And oh my god, that's
Tanks.
wild.
See,
Yeah.
takes you back. So I very much.
Sean
and
Miller,
I
we're not friends anymore. Sean Miller.
What do you say?
He never really liked Zelda.
Kick him out.
Yeah. Oh my god! So this is like these games, and so when Nintendo did like the right hand and the left hand, those are all things that you had to learn about, right? You had to research this, you had to talk to people about it. You had to
Only Super Mario 3 though had the left bro, right bro.
Yep.
Really?
It's just that one game.
Let me go get my copy. I'll get it.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, he can pause himself and walk away like that?
Well, he can. Yeah, he's a producer. That's what happens.
Pause me. I'll go pull mine. It's right behind me.
All right, we'll do that. Okay, so let's see. How do we? Let me see. I'll do that, Daniel. Why don't you go get it?
It's stop cam.
Yeah,
oh
stop
look,
cam.
he got his. Okay, so he has a right bro.
Okay.
I still have to get this graded.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right.
Okay. So you see how they're different?
Yes, I do. Okay, right.
Okay.
All right.
Left bro, right bro.
Wow.
So one's rarer than the other? Is that what it is?
Yes.
So the left bro is way more rare. Like
Okay.
you see sealed right bros all the time. That game has popped off. I think part because I say it's my favorite game all the time.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. All right.
But,
and then, so those are both 9.2s, Danielle, right?
Yeah.
Price difference between the two of them, what would it be? Like, we're talking thousands, hundreds, what would you say?
Like tens of
thousands. Really? Oh my Lord. Jesus. I don't know what I'm talking about.
because it's so much harder to find. Like there's a left bro right now. So there's a left bro on Heritage right now ending Friday. And I think it's at like 39,000.
Oh my
Wow.
Oh my God. Look, this is
insanity.
Come on in, guys.
You know what? They were undersold for so long and they were so undervalued for so long that like, of course, some of these games should sell for that much. It's part of pop culture. It's part of history.
It is. Yep. And I think that is something where now people in our age group, you know what I mean, in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s.
Yeah.
When we're talking about this, now you have the disposable income. Now you have.
That's what I say all the time.
Yeah. And you know what? You wanted to bring it back to when you were.
Better.
Sean, you know what? You've redeemed yourself. Your Final Fantasy
did change the game for RPGs.
Yes, it did. Let's give him a super chat.
Sick. And then, so we do have one more from Amazing Murfinator says, "Can you show the left bro again?"
You see how the left backwards. See
right. Okay. Wow. Oh my, those are nice looking cases too, Dan. I mean,
the cases display so nicely.
Yes. Okay. Nice broad base, so it lays flat. You don't have to worry about it or anything like that.
And that's the fancy 3D label because you can get the 2D label with the flat.
Those are horrible.
Yeah,
I told them they should never have even created those labels. You can't even see the grade.
Yeah, it was weird. It's really weird.
I
had a couple of suggestions. My other one was they should have different color code labels for a complete in box versus a sealed game because when new people come into the market, they don't know that there isn't this little box here that has the seal grade in it, right? Okay, this is how you can tell a game is sealed. It has an A in it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Normally there would be a little thing that says CIB, and then you would have to look on the back. In the back would give the grade breakdowns for the parts.
Yep.
So people don't always know that you have to look for this little box here.
Right.
To see the seal rating, to know that it's a sealed game.
Yep. So in that label itself, could you just educate everybody what is in the label? So the label itself, it has your grade. So that is a 9.2, right?
Yep. It has the seal rating.
The seal rating. Okay. Obviously you have the title of the game.
It has the year it came out here.
Yep. Okay.
And then it has little fun facts on the front. Like if it's a hang tab, it'll say hang tab over. I'm backwards, so I can't do this.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I've been backwards my whole life, so it's okay.
Here it'll say like hang tab, which version it is normally. And then on the back, I just learned recently that if you look over the QR code, it has the date that it was graded on it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep, I didn't know that until recently. And then here, normally, if it's a CIB game, and I can grab one if you want to see, it'll have the different breakdowns on all of the different pieces, like your box, your manual, and the cartridge. And then it'll tell you if the inserts are there. Because like some games came with inserts, like extra little pack-ins.
Yep.
And your nails look awesome. Thanks. I did them myself.
Is that Amy? There's Amy right
Amy's
there.
in the house.
Amy's in the house.
How I don't have a Bucky O'Hare, and you know I don't have a Bucky O'Hare. He has a Bucky O'Hare that I wanted.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So on a CIB game, and then over here it'll say like the music. They give a lot of information on these cases, and I think that's also different than VGA, where they don't give like all of the facts.
Right.
You know?
I like the fact that they do give all that information because you want to know every little tidbit about it.
Yeah, you want to know about all the different pieces.
Yes.
I want to grab I just want to grab a CI. Oh, nope, that one's sealed. I'm listening. I'm just looking.
No,
at
it's okay.
myself.
What about the Nintendo? I love the display on top. The LED list. Is that your sign right up there?
I don't have my extension cord inside to turn it on, but it actually sparkles and glitters.
Love it. Love it. There you go. Look, it's accessories. It's all about accessorizing, you know?
Oh, that speaks your language up there, Mr.
I'm looking for this game sealed, by the way, a Japan sealed copy, if anyone has one. And a Turtles 4. So on the back here, see how it breaks down the different pieces of the box? It has the box, the manual, and then the overall grade average.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So and that's
and
of
on the
Turtles.
front here, there's more information. So see here. Okay. See how it doesn't have that A?
Yep. Gotcha.
And it has like that little CIB box instead of sealed.
Yep.
You wouldn't know that.
Right.
If you're just entering.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't know. See, that's why you educate people. That's what this is all about. Oh my God, this is unbelievable.
So if they had a different color label, though, you could plainly see.
Yeah, you'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Right. I love it.
Okay.
And in video games, it's okay to marry your games and take different pieces to make a nicer copy. You know how in comic books, the married is kind of frowned upon?
Yeah. Right.
In video games, you can play around and get higher grades.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've pressed the manual in this game.
You did?
Really?
Yeah, I pressed the manual.
You can do that. How did it come out?
Came out pretty good.
Yeah.
Came out pretty
I
good.
have a press, but I suck at using it.
All right. Emerald Knight has a question, guys. You see that up top? Let's see what it
Drink.
Yeah, I think you guys make fun of me.
Yeah.
So complete in a box game.
That's a long list.
Okay, like number one or two offhand that you can think of.
Zelda.
Yep.
And there is the very first Zelda is TM. And it'll have I don't have one in my office, I'm sorry. It'll have two. Do you have a Zelda there, Dave?
I don't have one on the box. I just have the cart.
So it'll have two TMs on the front of the box, and instead of a TM and an R. So if there's two TMs, it's like next to the word Zelda, and then at the very bottom of the box, there will be another TM, and that shows that it's a first release of that game. There's maybe one or two known sealed copies. So a complete in box is the next best thing for that game. A White Bullet Mike Tyson Punch Out. So on we can see your face. So on Mike Tyson's Punch Out, the very first release of it, there's white bullets next to for the bullet points.
Yep.
The next releases all had orange bullet points.
Wow. Okay.
So you know that it's a first version if it has those white bullets.
Right.
That's worth grading. Even 6.0s, I think, are selling for like $1,500 in complete in box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, they're getting into it. How much for a Zelda 1 graded unboxed?
Just a cartridge?
Yeah.
Not much.
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah.
Complete in a box and sealed are the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. Is taking us all down the video game rabbit hole. Look, that rabbit hole is deep, okay?
Yeah.
You cannot come out of it.
Yeah, it is.
Next thing you know, I mean, I'd love to find out in a month how many of these 85 people have gone to like flea markets.
Gosh, I would love to know that too.
Yeah, flea markets and tag sales and just
tag
bought
me
stuff.
in your posts if you start doing video games. Please tag me.
You better
I gotta go to my dad's basement and see what's in the closet down there.
Yeah,
if my brother Dave didn't already steal them all.
I just bought a Donkey Kong Country for Super Nintendo.
Yep.
The guy found it for $10 at a flea market. It came back a 9.4.
Oh my God. Which translates into how much, Danielle?
Well, I paid $2,000.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
In Super Nintendo games, the first versions on a lot of them are made in Japan.
Yes, right.
The later versions are made in Mexico.
Okay.
So made in Japan is really what you want to go for if you can. Yep. The Donkey Kong Country is made in Japan. I needed another one. So I was happy.
Yeah, they're what you need. It's part of your collection, right? You got to have it, right?
We stole that for $10. I would love to find those all day.
Then you crack it open and play it once you get it, right?
No.
Of course. One of these days, I'm just going to do a video game unsealing.
Yeah, right.
And just watch the internet break.
Yeah,
exactly.
$1,000 per game that I unseal. That's
that
what it's cost.
That'd be 60 minutes of cringe that I would.
No, my Lord. Oh my God.
I'd be cringing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is.
Otto, where's your video game? Why don't you show your video game?
I do have one. Let me go get it. I do have one. I do have one.
Is it a good one?
No,
I feel like it's not. Is it another NHL?
No. He's got.
That's the big joke, Danielle. Is I'm not a video game guy. Okay, so when they start talking about things, and my son wanted a PS5, I said, "Anybody know about this video box thing that my kid wants?"
Video game box.
I know. I spent 3 days trying to get one, and I couldn't. That's all I know.
Right.
There you go.
Did you get one?
No.
Luckily,
he was like, "Yeah, wait for my birthday until March, Dad. Then all the kinks will be out."
Winning.
He said, yeah.
Well, that works all the bugs out, anyways. It's probably better.
That's what he said. So.
Yeah.
So as we all know, I am an accessory whore, Amy. So. Danielle, I'm sorry, I don't like how to Amy. I got Amy in the chat, but I am an accessory whore when it comes to pairing up books with pops and everything like that. I just love to display stuff. So one day I was looking, I put Silver Surfer on in eBay, and I found this video game, right? So this Silver Surfer
is that sealed or is that sealed?
No, it is sealed, but it was resealed. So it's not the factory reseal. So I think the person.
Yeah, but that's a great game.
And what was happening was I was looking for this, and I ended up finding this album. Okay, this vinyl.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so you got to check this out. So I'm going to show this to everybody. I love this. So I ended up finding this, and I lowballed the guy. And what it is it's a soundtrack to the actual video game. Okay.
That's so dope.
Yeah, but you got to see the inside of it. So the inside, I love this. I'm going to eventually frame this with everything. So, and I'm a huge Silver Surfer fan. So when you open it up, the jacket, right? The jacket is of the video game. So all this is the bloops and bleeps of the game, right?
That's
and there's like the soundtrack. But then
I need one of those.
Yes, but I hope you can find it. It's fantastic. When watch and let me see if I can show this. And then when you open it up to the album itself, it's got the Silver Surfer right there. Can you? Oh no, it's got the Silver.
No. Oh, there you go.
It's got the Silver Surfer right there.
Yep.
In 8-bit, and then the album itself is clear. Okay,
that's pretty bad.
That's so dope.
Awesome.
So this is like the gift.
Are there like different little parts of the game like embedded in the album?
Yeah. So there's so the soundtrack itself is.
Those are Everett's fingerprints.
No. But on the disc itself, did I see little images etched into it?
Yes, there's images etched into it.
Yeah,
from
that's
the game
freaking awesome.
Like explosions, and then so it's got parts of it, and then this was gifted to me. To match it up, so it's really, really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so this is my one and only video game, and I told these guys if I were to ever to go out and spend money, which I don't want to buy the first one because then you're just done, right? Would be Mike Tyson's Punch Out, because that was a game that I grew up to as a kid. I was an Atari kid and an Apple II guy, but the Nintendo game that I love the most was probably Mike Tyson Punch-Out. So
what's funny is like almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, I gave an interview with Kotaku, which is a big video game website, if you don't know.
Okay.
And in that interview, I talked about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and how I'd buy every copy I could at $2,500, at $5,000.
Oh my God.
Give me all of them.
Yep.
And I said that game is going to be big. And I caught a lot of flack from some old school video game collectors for making that statement.
Yep.
And now that game sealed sells for tens of thousands of dollars over and over and over again. Like now I think the entry level is like, huh?
I said, I still play that game to this day.
So fun.
Yeah.
So when I went to the What A Guy's basement, we actually busted out the Power Glove.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Like Punch Out on.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yes.
That's funny.
Danielle, can I ask you, why did those people give you such flack? Because you were bringing it to the mainstream, or because you were collecting it?
Because it was bad advice in their opinion. So some old school video game collectors, I think, didn't like that sealed games got so expensive. If I'm being honest, and I'll probably get some flack for this, but I think part of it is they were just salty because they didn't think to buy them.
Yeah, right, of course.
When they had the opportunities, right? But old school video game collectors were very much just collectors. They just wanted a copy. They didn't care if it was sealed. They didn't care if it was complete in box. Like some people went for condition, but most people just wanted a complete copy. Mm-hmm. They didn't pay attention to which version it was. There wasn't this big hype on left bro, right bro, hang tab, sticker, not hang tab. So I think that there was just some saltiness there. And as the hobby's grown, obviously, immensely, it's been interesting to see how some of these games have exploded.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just like comic books. I mean, you touched on it earlier. Like all of a sudden, newsstands a big deal. Mark the Jewelers is a big deal. Like before, nobody cared. They were just happy to have a copy. Now,
oh my gosh,
well, this is
Mark
a Mark the
Jewelers.
Yeah.
I had a whole run.
And now everybody cares about them. They're paying premium, or like you said, the newsstand. Like all of a sudden, a newsstand ASM 300 is worth so much more than a direct. So it sounds like the same with the video games.
Yeah,
only like exponentially crazier.
No, it's crazy the money that you're just telling us about with these numbers and these figures, and people are paying it. So there is disposable income out there that people are just paying for these things that not to take nothing away for Dave and Roger, we're not buying those.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You know what it is? Video games cross into so many different collecting classes, right? People who collected baseball cards.
Yep.
Played video games.
Correct.
Everyone played video games. Coin collectors, Pokemon people, comic book people. And now we're all kind of converging on this new collectible asset because it's really become an asset.
Sure, of course.
And there's not enough is part of it. Like there aren't enough sealed games for the people who want them. They're making so much fun of you and your beard. Are you doing No Shave November? Is that what's going on?
No,
that's just Guy looking for funny things to say.
I mean, Guy, I'll answer your question. I do. I definitely do.
His wife does. And stop getting so personal.
Oh boy!
Wow, that is awesome.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
We've going back and looking at some of the comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, Danielle, you've been on it with 70 minutes. You guys have questions for Danielle about video games or anything like that? I mean, this has just been an educational series right here, which has just been mind blowing. Because I was like, we're going to come on and talk about comics, and we're going to talk about this, and then my God, you've just educated us all with this Mario Brothers with the hands and the games. It's just
Hands.
yeah. I got.
How about marbles? What are
How about my
marbles?
marbles?
Marbles blown up.
They're gonna blow up as soon as you firecrackers with them and watch them explode.
Yeah, right. I'm just waiting for me to catch on to something big. Like, what's the next best thing? I have no idea as far as collecting, because I've bought so many things to collect that are absolutely worthless now. So it's just one of those things. So.
Dave, you do look amazing. Just
thanks, man.
To piggyback on what Guy's saying.
You guys are the best. Oh,
Yeah.
Gary's got a question.
Gary has a legitimate question.
Zelda graded
It was
cartridge.
Zelda graded. I don't have any, just cartridges. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. And then Wesley says, what's the average price for a high grade Turtles in Time for SNES?
Listen, I don't know. I'm willing to pay a nice chunk of money for a sealed made in Japan Turtles in Time. I need one for my collection. I only have a complete in box copy, and I paid like $3,500 for my complete in box.
Wow.
Damn.
Jeez. Wow. Oh my God.
It's so hard to find though, and it's a 9.4. So I've said before, and I've said this a few times, if sealed is eventually going to price people out, the next best thing is going to be high grade complete in box. I'm not talking like 7.0s. I'm talking like 9.0, 9.2, 9.4 overall grade.
Right.
It's going to be what people will turn to, that's going to have a nice chunk that's going to jump.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Al's got a question.
Yep.
You're going to bring games to the Little Giant Old School Comic Show next year.
So yes, probably. I will also say video games are much harder to travel with. They take up so much more space than comic books. Yes, I don't know that I'll come in April because I'm still waiting for all the COVID craziness to shake out.
I know.
Yep.
It's awful.
So I'm not jumping on planes anytime soon.
Right.
I know Jason's doing a show in April. I'm hoping by August we'll have life again.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you collect any TurboGrafx? Can you see the top of my shelf? I have a few TurboGrafx up there.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Up
Look
in
at
the
the
top.
sign. Oh my God. I love the sign.
That's awesome.
I posted a video when I got that sign in.
Yeah, all lit up.
There's a video of it sparkling and glittering. I should have thought to turn it on, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And then JMT had one. How about a PS1 Final Fantasy VII Black Label?
I have 3. There's one ending in Heritage on Friday. There are some crazy, crazy games ending in Heritage on Friday, actually. The Left Bros is ending, Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger. Please, everyone, stay away from Chrono Trigger.
Are you okay? That was my next question. Is that something that Nerdy Girl is going after? Is that something that's on your list? Yeah.
That means everyone's going to go target it now.
Yeah, right.
That's what they do.
All right.
There's a Grand Theft Auto. That's a great game. There are some killer, I think there's a Zelda in there. Like, there are some crazy games in this here. I think that this might be the first Heritage auction that video games on their own break $1 million.
Oh,
Really?
Oh,
Just in video games alone. Yeah, I think this might be the auction that finally does it.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. This has been crazy. So check out Heritage Auction and find out what it's going for and see if you have definite foresight in this when it comes to all these games. This has just been crazy to see all those back there. And, if you're saying, so not only are you, a dealer of these, but you're a collector of them too. So that's fantastic.
I am such a collector of video games.
Yeah.
So video games are very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I played video games.
Yeah.
Me
I love
too.
it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I
too.
spent years of my childhood and hours on video games.
Right. And I kind of did too. I just, I was a little bit to the older systems, but I
What was your
enjoyed them.
favorite video game? I want to know both, all your.
So my
doesn't
favorite.
count. He didn't like video games.
Yeah.
Oh, NHL 94. There's nothing.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
There was blood on the ice. You could fight. It was a year after my Canadians won the cup, say they were best team in the video game. You don't get any better than that. Everything was ruined after that.
Right. Dave, what about you?
What do one of those cost?
My favorite game of all time?
Not much.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Okay.
Well, that's a great choice too. One of my others is Sonic the
Damn.
Hedgehog.
That's a good one too.
That was a good one. So
mine's closed.
Ahead,
mine's sealed. Well, not sealed. Complete in box 8.0. So that's enough for now.
Nice.
Yeah. Get out.
So I was gonna say, I'm really gonna date myself when I say this. So the first video game system I ever had was the original Atari. But my favorite video game that I remember, not Pong. My God, my favorite video game that I ever remember I remember playing for hours and hours and hours, and it's the whole reason I made my mother buy me. She bought me an Apple II computer so I could play Castle Wolfenstein. And I played Castle Wolfenstein for hours and hours, and you'd have to break the codes, and you'd have to do that. And I remember, when Apple was out with the Apple II, my father was self-employed, and my mother said we should buy stock in Apple, and my father was so afraid of it, and he didn't.
For real.
And my God, I could be living in a palace right now if he would have bought that stuff. But anyway, so I don't blame my father.
And you had to hold it.
Yes, right. Oh, you had to sit on it too. Absolutely.
Look at this.
We have the brother.
The brother firing shots across the bow.
He wishes on you all the time.
He wishes because he always picked the stupid Whalers and they suck in that game, man. I kicked his ass all the time. He doesn't even he can remember how he wants, but he's 5 years older.
Shots fired.
He said what he said.
I do not have the Apple II computer anymore. I wish I did.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I know. I wish I did.
Or the Apple One came to auction, I think, at one point.
Did it really? No, I could only imagine.
I think it did, or went up for sale somewhere.
Yeah.
God, I would love to have that. That would be amazing.
Look at this. This is so funny to listen to the chat. ColecoVision Donkey Smurfs. Yep.
That's awesome.
I have a game table in my house, like the old flat top bar tables.
Oh, I love them. Really? Yeah. That's something. So on the other side of this room is the grotto where we do the video game and stuff like that. So I did buy an upright video game, one of the newer ones that just came out, the re-released ones. But the tabletops, the arcade ones. But the tabletops, I just absolutely love. And
dead meat, Gary.
I had more space.
My house.
Did it really? Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and they left an R2D2.
Oh my God!
Really?
Fantastic.
Look at that.
Anything on floppy disk worth any money? That's a great question right there. Any
I don't
video
think computer games are there yet.
No, okay, right. That's wow. That's been crazy.
Because if you think about it, that was next, right? Video games, and then came computer games. I do think there will be a market for StarCraft.
Yeah, right. StarCraft, Diablo, right?
StarCraft games like that. Doom.
Yep.
I think there will be a market for those, but I don't think it's here yet. So maybe that's something to spec on.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Specking on that. You heard it here first. Right. Timestamp this and we're ready to go. So, oh my God.
What about board games? Nothing on board games? No.
Roger.
They're still re-releasing those.
Yeah.
In the old school format.
Yeah. Yep. I had the Donkey Kong ColecoVision. Yeah. My God. You know what? I love the fact that you guys are bringing all these old video games to light and we can sit there and reminisce about, good days.
Well, that's why they're blown up, right? We talk about it all the time.
Everyone
nostalgia. Comics, video games, either way, you have the people who played these things when they were young who now have the expendable money to buy them and collect them. Yeah. That's why it's blowing up, right?
Yep.
For sure.
So I just want to say, Daniel, I asked you to come on for an hour. We've gone on for 80 minutes. You've absolutely enamored everybody with all your knowledge.
We can have 3 men and a lady.
Yes, that's right. We need to have that, right? Because
add some class to the show.
Yes, we just had a roast and Amy was the only woman in it, and we're just like, oh my God, we got 30 guys and Amy hanging out with us in a bar. So
Monday was my birthday, and I do a show every Monday called Live with the Cranky Canadian. So instead of the show, we had a roast, and people made videos and came on. And
it's great.
Yeah, it's a good thing I can laugh at myself because some of those guys are pretty ruthless.
Yeah, they were killing you on that. So that's fantastic. So we're gonna let you go, but before we leave, Danielle, tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram, on eBay, and all that other stuff. Please let everybody know about Nerdy Girl Comics
on Instagram. If you don't know, I'm on eBay under Filter81. If you go to my Instagram page, it has a way to contact me through email, through text. Feel free to shoot me a message. And I'll say one more time, if you have a sealed Turtles in Time, please send me a message. I really need one, or a Streets of Rage 2.
Okay.
And remember, guys, all that information she's talking about, her link to her Instagram and eBay, page are in the description of this video. So if you're watching it on Rewind or you're watching it now, you can look at the see more, and you'll see the links to both her Instagram and her eBay pages.
All right.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was fun.
Of course. All right. So, Dave, what do you got going on? You got any videos coming out on 3 Men soon, or
maybe? I don't know. I've been super lazy.
I know,
you see all this back here?
I know you got work to do. You're busy. Plus, you're all over the place. You know.
I am. Jet setting. But no, Danielle, thank you so much for coming on. I love being able to geek out over games and stuff like that. So
shoot me a message if you ever want to. Seriously.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, I appreciate you coming on, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Raj, parting words. What do you got going on? I know you got a lot of stuff.
Monday, live at the Cranky Canadian, 7 o'clock. I have Big Lion Cat, Meow Meow, coming on. That should be interesting. He's quite the character. We got to meet him during a Connecticut comic crawl, and he's a great guy. Dale, it's been great having you. You made a comment in your live thing today that some of your best friends you've met because of comics. I legitimately say that all the time. Like all the people that I hang out with now, the people that were on my roast for my birthday, the people that I enjoy talking to have all become part of my life because of comics. And, you know, collect what you like and do it for fun. And that's the way it should be. And, it's been great having you on. Thank everybody that's in the chat. Anybody that watches on Rewind, make sure you, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell. Make sure you comment if there's anything that you guys want us to see. And make sure go into the information below and check out Nerdy Girl's Instagram link and her eBay link. She's got a lot of great stuff. So thank you.
All right, absolutely. So for 3 Men in a Basement, we do not have a live show this Friday because Very Gary and Erod are having a live auction on Very Gary's channel. So check that out for all your deals for comic books. I do have a pre-recorded video from when I tried to interview Chris Claremont at Terrificon last year, and you'll see it's a very funny video. That'll be dropping Friday on the channel. We have the Cranky Canadian coming up. We do have our Christmas party scheduled for December 11th, guys, I believe. We're going to be doing trivia. We're going to have lots of good times. So we're going to get ready for that. We're going to plan that out. Thank you for everybody who came out for our live auction. That was an absolute blast. We're very supportive of you guys there. Follow all the other channels, Pressable Deffects, Lords of the Long Box, It Thoro, all those guys. You know who they are.
All the links are in the description too.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, our sponsor, Rocket Comics. Please check them out for all your pressing needs. And I want to give a huge thank you, Danielle, for coming on, for taking the leap of faith to hang out with 3 dudes in a grotto, hanging out. You absolutely crushed it. I felt like we could sit around the bar forever and geek out with all these other things. So you gave great education, great knowledge, and talked about great books. And you definitely are about that comic book and video game lifestyle. So on behalf of all the 3 Men in the Basement, we thank you very much for coming on. I am Roger. That is Dave. I'm not Roger. That is Roger. I am Otto. I'm trying to do a good close here. I am Otto. That is Roger. That's David the Cave. You're Danielle from Nerdy Little Comics. We are 3 Men in the Basement, and we are out. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Bye.